Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tingling Tea. Happy New Year. Here at the Tingling Tea, we talk about the strange and the supernatural, the creepy and the cryptic, the haunted and horrific, and all that is phenomenally creepy. I can't go any further without introducing my guests who I have with me here, who I've missed because it's a new year. I haven't seen them a whole year. So first of all, we're going to bring on Annabelle Chimpton. Hi, hey, Annabelle. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021.
I know, right? I'm so glad. I feel like so renewed and refreshed. You know?
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I'm hoping this year doesn't get any spookier than last year. So
well, I don't know. At the beginning it kind of looked a little iffy just recently, but we can talk about that later.
Hardly a week in, and it's already a little scarier.
Already starting to be. Well, listen, we can't go any further without having our other guest host come in, and that is Augie Peterson. Augie Eddie Peterson. Hi, Augie.
Hey, happy 2021. I was listening to what you were saying. I'm really not sure that this is going to be any better than 2020, but I have hope. I did see a meme today, which was the twins from The Shining, and one was 2020 and one is 2021. So I'm hoping that's not true. I hope we have a wonderful year, and we don't have another year of the twins from Shining.
Yeah, really, exactly. I hope not. I hope not. I hope this is, I don't know though. I kind of got a little iffy, how it started off just a couple of days ago. Yeah. Made me wonder, if this is, and he did express that to all his supporters that this was just the beginning of their journey. So God only knows what he has in store. All I know is he's not president anymore. So this is a wonderful thing.
And he's not on Twitter or Facebook.
Oh, hey,
or
let's
Insta.
talk about that.
I think Insta too.
Instagram. Sure. Yeah. And Instagram.
He is president until inauguration, though. He's still technically president.
Well, this is going to be very interesting.
As silence befalls.
I really wanted to go to Twitter to see his reaction to all of this news, but
I think it was on there today. I'm pretty sure there was some tweets going on today after they unfroze his account before they froze it again.
Yeah, well, at least we're not seeing any rhetoric. We're not seeing any rhetoric. This is a good thing.
He's camping.
Nothing to incite more than that. But I mean, I'm curious about this. If this had been a Black Lives Matter movement, and if we had people that were participating in the Black Lives Matter movement had acted the way this would have gone down differently, probably a lot more tragically. I mean,
I'm sure if you just look at the Black Lives Matter reaction, or the planning, or the police barricades that they put up, and compare it, just do a face-to-face comparison between the Black Lives Matter movement on Washington and what we saw just a few days ago. It's like night and day.
And no lives lost. This is 4 lives were lost as a result of this foolishness. 4 lives.
That's right. And the amount of violence was considerably less perpetrated against the people that were actually, breaking into the Capitol. I think this is a stark look at the problems that we continue to face as a country.
Absolutely.
Blatant.
Yeah, but I think that what this did, I think his presidency, what it happened to do was unearth something that was already there. And as a woman of color, I can say that this is nothing new. It's just that his minions crawled from under their rocks and started, feeling that they had the ability to do whatever they wanted to do. He empowered this. And so this is what you're getting. This is nothing new to people of color. We've seen it, experienced it every day, on a daily basis. It's just a little bit more clandestine, or, not so overt. But this now is it's running rampant. So it's just very sad. It's very sad that we are, the model of what democracy is supposed to be, and yet still all this foolishness is going on. And this is what we're displaying to other countries. it makes our credibility very lax and lame.
It does have a significant negative impact on the perception of our country across the world. And honestly, if you look at what happened, just seeing the anger and the hatred perpetrated against our institutions was horrifying. It was absolutely horrifying. It was something that I thought I'd never see except in the movies. And to see that play out the way it did was, it felt like a rape. It felt like a violation.
Yeah, it did. It did feel like a violation. You got that right. I agree with you. I mean,
the last time that happened was the literal War of 1812 that people breached our Capitol building and occupied it.
That's right, by British. Yep.
By the British. Yeah. It's
wow.
That's like it's so insane to me that happened.
And that it was allowed. That it was allowed.
Yeah, and there's a tweet that summed it up the most for me. Do you remember the movie National Treasure with Nick Cage stealing the Declaration of Independence? Someone was like, I'm not nearly as impressed about him stealing the Declaration of Independence now after watching how easily these people got in to our building.
I'm closely following all the investigations associated with the security, the lack of security, what was approved, what was asked for and denied, what was offered and rejected. It's very telling about institutional racism within the lines of defense in our security system and within our government. You'll be able to see it. This investigation will be very blatantly on the line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely will. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean,
I hope they get haunted the rest of their lives.
I don't know.
No, I want black-eyed kids showing up at all their doorsteps.
All their doorsteps, yes, that they have experience with. Listen, well, later on in the show, I have something to tell you about that's going to probably freak you out. So we'll talk about that later. But let's get on. So, Happy New Year, everybody! And now we have a full new year of haunting and paranormal and supernatural weirdness outside of even what's going on in America per se. But there's a lot going on right now, movie-wise. There's a lot going on. A lot of part two. Despite COVID, a lot of part two, second part, and remakes of some movies that we all know and love. Some that deserve it, a remake. So I'm really curious. Normally I wouldn't say that. I don't like remakes. I think sometimes you just can't perfect on perfection. But these two movies, I'm kind of excited about seeing a remake on them. So Aki, I know that you pretty much are the authority on this kind of content. Can you kind of give us an idea of what is going on
in the world of movies, in the world of horror, science fiction, creepy, and things that make you feel tingling in the movie world? It's so interesting what's happening now. And you're absolutely right. It is sort of the year of reboots, remakes. We do have some really interesting new concepts, new takes on some of the what really has become like a universe, a franchise in some of these areas. And we also have some pretty cool new entries into this world. But first, the first thing that I need to start out with is the big rumors. The rumor mill has been all over the place for something called The Exorcist.
What? Oh, wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yeah, so it's very interesting when you go back and you read some of this information about the rumors that are spreading around about the Exorcist reboot. There's a lot of circles and talk going on about the Exorcist reboot. And let me explain where this comes from. Now, it was first reported by this company called Deadline back in August, and it was a very interesting mention of this reboot because it was actually the second to last line in a paragraph that talked about something completely different. Another television, it's actually a television show that was being rebooted. But the second to last sentence mentioned that Morgan Creek, now Morgan Creek is the production company that owns the rights to The Exorcist. Morgan Creek has greenlit a reboot of The Exorcist for a 2021 release.
What?
Which means they better get going.
Well,
we're in 2021.
But when? We are, but when? And it hasn't been cast.
We don't know yet. We don't know. We're waiting for more information, and it's fascinating because so many people love The Exorcist. It is definitely on my top 5 of horror movies of all time. So many people. It was, by the way, 1973 that it came out. So it's been out almost 50 years, and the idea of first of all a reboot. Do you remember when they did Psycho and they did like a frame for frame redo of Psycho, and everybody was sitting in the audience like, okay, well, this is nice, but like, why would you do this? So there's discussion about absolutely don't do that, whatever you do. But very interestingly, no more details have been shared by Morgan Creek. However, if you look on IMDb, they did post something called The Exorcist 2021 as an upcoming movie. And someone put in William Friedkin as the director. Do you all know who William Friedkin is?
What?
He was the director of the original Exorcist.
Yes.
Right? So that was very interesting. So that got everybody into a tizzy. And of course, if you IMDb William Friedkin, you'll see that he's made some fantastic movies. But he recently came out on Twitter saying, there's a rumor on IMDb that I'm involved with a new version of The Exorcist. This isn't a rumor, it's a flat out lie. There's not enough money or motivation in the world to get me to do this. So I guess that's a no. I'm interpreting that as no, but it's still on IMDb. Morgan Creek has not said that it is not coming out. So I assume it is coming out in 2021. So this will be huge if they do a remake of The Exorcist. Absolutely huge. You guys...
I'm a little concerned, and let me tell you why. This is now 2021, and we do not see this film. We don't know. There's not been really any buzz around it. We don't know who's been cast in it. And I'm a little concerned of all the controversy that's going on behind it, too. So I don't know how credible or how good this movie is going to be based on all the shenanigans that are already going on around this film.
I don't know either. First of all, you got my attention with The Exorcist reboot, right? I am paying full attention. If they come out with this and they do the original justice, I am in full agreement that this is something that we need to see and it needs to be produced. How they're going to do that in 2021, I have no idea. But I love the idea of a reboot to The Exorcist. Good for them. I hope Morgan Creek does something with this title. I don't want it to be you can't meddle with perfection. Don't bring it out as a complete redo with some new cast members that are younger and sexier. Like, really give this the respect that it actually deserves.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you totally.
So let's move on to some of the movies that we actually know are coming out. And some of these were slated actually for last year, and then they were put on pause because of the pandemic. Now they're still coming out in 2021 so far. This is what we know. They have release dates, but I'm really, really excited. And this goes along the theme of reboots and sequels. So the first one that we're going to take, we have a bunch of trailers for you. The first one that I want to look at, and tell me if I'm wrong about this, Leslie, is The Conjuring 3.
Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, goodness.
Yes. When I first saw The Conjuring, what did you guys think when you first saw the original Conjuring? What was your reactions?
I thought that they were well done. I thought that they definitely had the impact, the scare tactics to it. But I honestly feel that the original stories, the real authentic story, of Lorraine and Ed Warren is scarier. I happen to have read or actually listened to it on a road trip, The Demonologist, and they actually discuss all of their cases in detail. I know that they made a little, they do things for a fact, but I think that their stories are scarier. Although I could say that these were effective in what they did as far as scaring an audience. So obviously, so if you have a Conjuring 3.
I went and paid money to hear Ed and Lorraine Warren speak in the town that I grew up in, and in like a Holiday Inn, like a room that you rent out in a Holiday Inn. And it freaked me out. It freaks me out to this day. I had one afternoon with them and I was completely frightened. So the idea that they created a whole series around these two people in Connecticut, which is where I grew up, I love this idea. And what's interesting is they worked on a very famous haunting that turned into a famous film that they are bringing up in this chapter of The Conjuring. So can you bring up the trailer?
Sure.
Cool.
I'd like to add, I like the way that they name certain dolls in the Conjuring series.
All right, let's watch this trailer.
What do you make of that voice?
After everything we've seen, there isn't much that rattles either of us anymore. But this one still haunts me. 2 months prior to our involvement, the Lutz family had fled their home in the middle of the night, claiming that the house was haunted. The church had reached out to us for help. They wanted to see if we could confirm the activity that had been reported by the Lutzes.
Please don't take my sunshine away.
Something awful happened here, Ed.
What is it? Okay. What are you saying? We don't run from
Whatever
things.
Lorraine sees, feels, touches, takes a toll on her. A little piece each time.
Slow.
So what do you think is that they are talking about? We saw the windows.
I know they're talking about Amityville.
We're talking about Amityville. That's right. And the Lutzes. The Lutz investigation.
The Lutz investigation, which from what I understand was probably one of the most horrific encounters for Lorraine as a medium and a psychic. That it was something that she could not ever get over. And that particular creature or that incident, that demon, followed them even past Amityville, from what I understand.
They reported the same thing when I went and saw them in person.
Yes.
That's wild. That looks so good, first of all.
It does. It's scary. It looks very scary. I did see some things in it that I did not see in the book, like the dolls, the rocking horses. I'm not sure how they're using that effect, or if they're doing this from the perspective of the DeFeo family, and not, I'm not sure where they're going with this storyline.
Well, they can go anywhere they want as far as I'm concerned. I love it. I'm along for the ride. I have another one, actually. You want to go to the next one now?
Sure.
All right. So the next one is was kind of a sleeper. It was kind of a sleeper, right? I didn't think it was massively marketed, and it's called A Quiet Place.
Yes,
right?
yes. That one was one that I remember just like stumbling across.
Yeah, it was just one of those wonderful movies that you just sort of fall into. Fantastic acting, not a gigantic budget, but they use every bit of their budget in a way that is so creative. And now we have a prequel that is coming out. This was supposed to come out last year. They put a pause on it. It's supposed to come out this year now. So let's take a look at A Quiet Place 2. Here we go.
What is going on? It's okay, baby. It's okay. Mom. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. That's okay. That's okay. Where? Mom. Mom. Oh my God.
I don't know why you came all the way up here. There's nothing left.
Please. There are people out there worth saving.
You don't know, do you? Oh, I do. The people that are left are not the kind of people worth saving.
Ooh, so exciting. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for that one.
I cannot wait for that.
Why is it that all the bad people are left whenever there's a big, when there's a big apocalyptic event, we don't have any nice people? Why is that?
What kind of boring movie would that be?
Yeah, let's go to Wholesomeville where everyone lets you in and gets you food.
By the way, you saw Emily Blunt is back, and John Krasinski is back as the director of this one too. and I think he really's got some great director chops. I mean, that opening scene, what?
That was great. It kind of put me on the same level of Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, I was thinking of Dawn of the Dead, and I was thinking of what was the remake that they made with Tom Cruise, with the aliens? What was it? War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds, actually, yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, I think that's a great technique as a director to start it off just right away. Just get people, jumping in immediately. So I love that.
As a viewer too, one of the things I like is I like seeing the scene of when everything first crumbles like that. Like that's the moment that everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is happening."
Yeah,
no, this can't be happening. This is happening.
And it's shot so beautifully, as though you were a passenger in the car, as though you're experiencing it exactly with them. And the idea of the bus going right in front of the car was so fantastic.
That was a beautiful scene as we were watching that.
She was doing some major driving too, backing that car up.
I had totally forgotten how much I loved this movie until you put this trailer on the screen tonight.
Can I make a confession? I have not seen the first one. I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know if I can be your friend anymore.
I know. I will see it, but I haven't seen it yet. So
it's a scary movie where they're not allowed to scream.
It's good.
You scream, you die.
Oh gosh, I love it. I love that concept.
What's beautiful about it is that it's not overblown. It doesn't have a $200 million budget. It's a small movie. It's an intimate movie, and it is terrifying.
Yeah,
it's absolutely great. So I know we're running out of time, so we have a lot of content. Let's get on to the next one. Now, the next one I know was meaningful to me as a kid because
and me too,
and you too, because it scared the heck out of me. Basically, I was completely scared of this scary guy, and his name was Candyman. That's right. Candyman is back, and they just did the remake. It is coming out, I think, soon, but I don't have the specific date yet. But this particular movie scared the heck out of me as a kid. Les, tell me what you think of when you think of Candyman.
This is, for me, I'm going to tell you, and I'm a huge Tony Todd fan. So, I mean, it's going to be really hard to replace him as Candyman. But I have to say, as an urban horror figure, something that lived in the hood, this terrified me beyond belief. Traditionally, our scary monsters, our boogeymen, have been portrayed as white men in films. And so this is the first time that we see a black man as the boogeyman. And I'm going to tell you, by far, he will always haunt my dreams. The storyline will always haunt my dreams. That is something scary. Candyman set a precedence, I would say, because it really elevated black horror in a sense. I mean, then you have Tales of the Hood and other stuff that came out. So I really love this film, and I truly hope that they do it justice. I really do.
I really do too. And so does Mayhem Mike, who I saw is commenting on our Facebook right now, saying it scared the bejesus out of him.
Yes. Mike knows. For black folks, this was some scary stuff.
I've never seen
very scary.
A Candyman film.
Ugh.
What?
You have to see the original Candyman film. Yeah. It is so good.
You have to watch it. You have to watch the original before you see the remake of this. But it is one of the most terrifying storylines ever. And there have been challenges now. This urban legend is such that people are actually, they still do the Candyman challenge now. They still do it.
But what's the Candyman challenge?
Oh boy, Annabelle.
Is that like Bloody Mary?
Similar, yes.
Bloody Mary, yes.
Yes.
Bloody Mary was the one that I was always afraid of doing as a kid.
Yes.
So,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with worse consequences.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. You know, very, very good. But do you want to check out the trailer of that? I'm interested in seeing what it looks like.
Let's definitely check out the trailer. Let's go right there because I can't hold this. I can't keep this from everybody any longer. It's just the most amazing. It's the coolest trailer. You'll love it.
Okay, let's look at this.
The urban legend is, if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you.
Well, we're still alive. Let's go. Trina, you've broken the door. This isn't funny!
I feel really connected to this neighborhood. Cabrini Green. It was the projects. I just moved in around the corner.
The old candy factory.
I'm an artist.
You looking for Candyman? He's the monster that's part of this neighborhood.
Why are you drawn to this?
I'm hoping to spread the story about Candyman. The mirror invites you to see him. You should say his name. I dare you.
Candyman. Candyman.
Candyman.
Candyman.
Don't say that.
Candyman.
I think I made a mistake. I brought him back.
Candyman isn't real!
Something's happening to me.
He had a purpose for you to be another one of his terrible stories.
I guess he found me.
I am the writing on the wall. The sweet smell of blood. Be my victim.
This is not real. It's not real.
Oh boy. Jordan Peele. Amazing. Can't wait.
That was just like the Bloody Mary challenge.
Okay.
That was
So Bloody
That was
Mary shows up and she's kind of annoying. Candyman does a little more.
Listen. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. The lady that said, "Shh, don't say that," ain't she in the original?
I didn't recognize. I'll have to look that up. I don't know. I don't remember her.
She's the lady that was living in Cabrini Green. Let me tell you something. Cabrini Green actually exists. You all know, right? That project actually exists.
No,
In Chicago. Yes, it was. It's a real.
It was
project.
a made-up name. I thought it was a made-up name.
No, Cabrini Green actually exists.
Wow, I love it.
That's what makes it even more terrifying to think that. Definitely now that Jordan Peele is involved with it, I'm sure that it is definitely going to go into the more historical Black component here of why he is who he is. We did know that. We did find that out in the original movie, but I think that they're going to even dive even deeper into this. This looks phenomenal.
I can't wait. I gotta watch the originals.
Oh, it is. So
I've got to
good.
do that ASAP.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The original with Tony Todd. I heard Tony Todd is actually going to make an appearance in this one too. I heard.
There is a rumor that he's making an appearance. I might have seen photos, but they might have been doctored. I can't tell. So what I love about this movie is that it's urban. We always see people running through the woods, and we see, we always see this sort of, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I have to take care of myself. The scary part is there are people close to you and you can't get to them. You are suffering and you can't reach out to the people that are right there next to you.
Yeah. I think,
scary.
and not only that, the majority of the cast is of color.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're seeing another component here, because normally what you said is somebody is usually out in some kind of woods or something running from some kind of killer like this. And let's say they are usually of the Caucasian persuasion. Now you're seeing Black people in horror. So this is a whole nother plane.
I love it.
This is like really, this is just, oh gosh, I can't wait to see it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills even thinking about it.
If we were not in a pandemic, Les, I would go with you to the opening night in the middle of like Harlem, and we would have the best freaking time ever screaming at the
picture.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
It would be the best night.
I would fly across the country.
Just to see it with us.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, this is going to be amazing. So, I have one other movie, and this is one that's a classic. They made another one that I think is now. I like all the different ones of these, but they all have their different flavors. This looks like a very interesting one because I'm talking about Halloween. And
what, they're redoing Halloween?
Of course.
I thought they killed him.
Oh, they killed him like 6 times, but there's still more money to be made.
Oh, okay.
So, they got to revive him. So this, again, has Jamie Lee Curtis in it. It goes back and revisits some of it actually leaves off where the last version of Halloween left off. So anyway, I think it's not coming out until probably September, October. Actually, I think it has an October 15th date, so it's going to come out right before Halloween. But they're working on a brand new Halloween. It's going to be really good. Do we have a trailer, Les?
I can find one.
No. We can share it once again when it's a little closer. But the only thing I want to mention is we have some. We not only have Halloween, we also have really good other movies coming out that are scheduled to come out. The Empty Man, which looks scary, and we'll share those trailers in the future. Jack in the Box 2, The Awakening. I don't know if you guys know Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Wow, that's an old one.
Yeah, we have Jack in the Box 2, and it looks really good. And then this looks really interesting. I'm really excited about this. Spiral. And it's executive produced by Chris Rock, and it stars Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. And they play police officers that are investigating something supernatural happening in what looks like New York. So someone is killing police officers. So that's a really interesting one. The trailer for that is amazing. We'll watch it in a future episode. But then we also have Morbius, which is part of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, Morbius. Yes, I can't wait. Yes.
Morbius. Yes. So that's coming out. And then hot off the presses, Scream 5 is in casting at this moment. So that's in the process, and they're getting a lot of the original cast back for Scream 5.
It's in casting, so you're saying you could throw your name in the hat.
We could all throw our names in the hat and see what happens.
We could. We never know. We could.
They're casting right now.
Yeah. Well, this weekend, Annabelle and I got in some gaming, finally on Twitch. And Annabelle introduced me to a new game that I was totally unexpected. It was Project Winter. I was so bored by this game, this little bitty game. And I'm sure you have like more details on it, but kind of give us the basis of this, because I want to tell everybody what happened last night, what Annabelle did to me last night playing this game.
Okay, so basis of this game is you are a group of survivors in this winter wilderness, and you are trying to escape. You got to have food, you got to have warmth, and you got to fight through animals that are trying to kill you, and you got to repair these like radio stations so that you can call an escape vehicle. However, there's a twist. 2 people in your group are actually traitors. They are trying to kill you and prevent you from escaping. So if you've ever played the games Town of Salem, Werewolf, or Among Us, which has been pretty popular recently, it's in the same genre. It's a hidden role game. And it is amazing because you have to use your voice in the game, which a lot of the other ones you don't, and you can also attack each other. So you're playing this game, and you could be a traitor, or you could be someone trying to get it out.
So this is what happened to me last night. I'm the noob playing the game.
Wait, I gotta get my tea. I gotta get my tea for this.
Get your tea on this. I'm the noob playing the game last night. You know,
Okay.
Annabelle hypes me up to play this game. I go in, I set up everything on my Steam account, everything like that, you know, which, you know, Annabelle invites her friends in and we're playing the game. And I'm like all over the place because I have now a new laptop gaming system, which I don't know how really to function with that because I'm used to consoles. So, you know, I'm still kind of work everything out with my mouse and everything. And so the first thing is that they tell me, Annabelle, because it's two people that are usually betraying everybody else that are what are called the traitors on this. So she says to me, go and kill this other character because we saw him killing somebody. So I said, okay, so I go and do, you know, what Annabelle tells me to do. And the poor guy's screaming, don't kill me, don't kill me. I'm innocent. Why are y'all killing me? And I was just like, I thought he was just doing some really good acting, right?
Annabelle, were you the one that was supposed to kill everybody?
She incited this, yes. And then she tells me to come into a bunker to go look into a box to go get something out. And I'm looking through the box. She's standing there with the other traitor. And all of a sudden, the sickle, she hits me with the sickle. It kills me. I would tell you, I was all in my feelings. I was hurt. Because she killed me. And I was like, oh, no, I trusted you. And she just like, it's just a game. It's just a game, Les. It's just a game.
Well, you see,
I was so done.
I had to get you to kill that other guy because he walked up on us killing someone else and looting their body. So we chased him up there to... do you have a gameplay trailer for this game?
Yeah, sure we do. Let's just show this to everybody.
Let's show the people a little bit about this.
Oh, I'm into this type of game. This is going to be, I'm going to definitely be... Now, is this PS4? Is this only...
It's console only, but they're working on porting it to... or it's PC only, but they're working on porting it to consoles right now.
Okay.
So the game can be played on controller, so I don't think they actually should have too much work to do that.
Yeah,
because I love these type of games. So much fun.
Let's show this trailer.
Survival is hell, even at the best of times. But it gets easier when you're not alone. We can do anything if we work together. Escape and freedom is within our reach. Just as long as we remember. To trust no one.
Especially Annabelle. All right, Annabelle. Do not trust me.
Do not trust Annabelle. Annabelle killed her friend last night. Her partner. She killed me last night, and I was just listening to her. So now I have to. So now I know.
I had to do it.
She had to do it.
I had to win.
All right. I will definitely be playing this game as soon as it's available. I'm playing this game, and I'm playing Annabelle, and we are not trusting anybody.
No, we're not. But I think
a nice thing.
I think it's a really fun game for people to play because you do have to work in tandem with one another in order to actually leave the station that you're on, because you're in the middle of some station, and you are subject to the elements there. There's like snowstorms that come in. There are wolves. There were some wolves chased me last night and tore me up. I don't know what that was about. I got all tore up by some wolves. But I'm just saying that I really love this game, and you don't know who to trust. You really don't know who to trust. You have to be very mindful of that throughout the whole game.
Where all the people that aren't the bad people in the game end up killing each other out of paranoia. So you really, it almost feels like you're playing as like a horror killer. Like you're trying to think, how do I make them think I'm like not the horror killer? Yeah, it's kind of like the
Yeah, it is exactly like the thing.
Totally like the thing. Thank you,
definitely
Mayhem
like the
Mike.
thing, Mike. Yes,
Thank
it's
you,
definitely
Mike.
like the thing.
And like because you can also take on the identity of people you've killed. So if you kill someone, you can take their name and clothing. And if people don't know your voice that well, you could get away with it.
So last night I saw somebody run around as SistaSlaya. And I was like, is that my imagination? Somebody put on my coat and everything, was running around as SistaSlaya. Took everything.
That's
amazing. And that was a nice Parker that I had on too.
Was it bloody?
It wasn't bloody. Yeah, it wasn't bloody. I mean, it looked clean, and they had my name above their head as if they were working with the other people, but they were actually the killer. And you have no way of telling everybody, hey, I'm dead. Because once you die, that's it.
Oh, can you talk to each other in this game, or are you just on your own?
It's all voice, and you can only hear people within like a certain range. So you're using your microphone, and if you are really paying attention, then you could technically try and remember what people sound like.
Yeah, it's very good. Unless you're playing with your friend and you know what your friend sounds like.
You're gonna know. Yeah. And I also want to give one more plug. When we were playing this, Les and I were actually streaming live on twitch.tv. You can find us on the Cliff Dive Productions, which is twitch.tv/Cliff Productions, or on twitch.tv/Annabelle_Chimpton. That's my personal channel, but most of that content is funneled directly into our live show tonight. So going forward, every Wednesday night, I'm going to be doing a new horror game that will be featured on the show a couple days later. So if you ever want to tune in live and interact, or if you want to play, if it's a big multiplayer game, come in and join. That's something that we can definitely make happen and get some fun clips for the Friday night show out of.
Yeah, I think that what we could show people is kind of how the gameplay goes, what you normally do. So you're looking from a third-person view. I don't think that you do have a first-person view, but you're looking from a third-person view of the game. So you're looking at an aerial view, basically. So you really can't tell. A lot of times while you're in the snow, you actually get lost because you're looking at it. So here's a bear attacking some of the survivors right there. And you eventually have to, kill the bear that's chasing after you. And they do come after you.
And they'll kill you.
They'll kill you. That will be there. But the purpose that you're supposed to be doing is that there are rocks and there are trees and stuff like that. You're given tasks, and you have to repair like a generator, and you have to repair things so that you can get out of this place, so you can survive it, so that you could go to a helipad and finally leave the area. But you're given tools and stuff like that. You have to construct all these tools, and you have to be out of. This is like one of the bunkers that I was in that I got murdered by Annabelle. So basically, you go into these bunkers and you actually pick up items that you're going to need to make repairs. You cut down trees, you cut down rocks, all kinds of stuff. And then you go through all these bunkers, and then there are signs all over the place for you that lead you into where you need to go, like to the next bunker and everything. But people can actually destroy the signs so that you can get lost and die in the cold. It just is. It's a really fun type of game, but you have to work with each other, but you don't know who to trust. But you have to work with one another in order to get off.
You gotta
love
hope
that.
that you just trust the right person. I think usually,
Yeah.
you gotta get lucky with who you pick.
Yeah. Last night I actually had I was cold. I was actually cold and somebody came over and actually built a flower for me so that I could get, warmed up.
And then they killed you with
And
an
then
ice
they killed
pick.
me. Mhm.
At least you're a warm cadaver.
You can go after moose to get food because you have to have food, you have to have shelter, you have to have warmth, you have to have all the things that you would normally need in order to survive something like this.
I like that it has that element of you kind of have to work with other people if you want to beat it. You can't just run off by yourself and expect to do it. You got to have the warmth, you got to have the food, you got to have a defense for when someone comes to kill you in your bunker. And I think it's a really good game. I'd highly recommend it if you like this genre. I think it's a superior hidden role, hidden information PC game.
I absolutely love the genre where you have to work together, especially when you have to talk to each other and strategize. I went back to Friday the 13th, the game, over the holiday, and the intention of the producers was to have you do that, but at this point people don't care anymore. They're so familiar with it, so they just sort of leave you and they take care of themselves so that they win. So I love that the whole point of the game is that you can't win it unless you interact with each other. So that's actually really helpful.
Yeah, I think that's one of this is one of the things that makes a scary game or a game like this, a thrilling game, worthwhile playing, because you have to work with one another. You have to, in order to get things. This is what, we are all here fans of Dead by Daylight, which we will probably one day have some footage of us actually playing that. But you have to work together to survive. You have to, and the game does not favor the survivor. It favors the killer. So unless you can, work together, you're maybe not going to be able to make it out. And that's what gives you some of the adrenaline rush of a game, is finding out.
Well, I spend most of my holiday playing Death by Daylight, and I can attest it's a really good game. And you're doing similar tasks, right? You have to do similar tasks in order to escape and all of that stuff. But at the same time, you know who the killer is, and you're just always. And the killer has so much influence to kill you and ability to kill you right away that you're always looking right and left as you're in the middle of doing these tasks.
Yeah, I would say that this is a little bit more advanced when it comes to your tasks that you have to do.
Yeah.
Your task. I mean, you have to construct everything on this game. Dead by Daylight, for that matter, is you just have to make sure that you pass skill checks by there's usually 5 generators on the map, and you have to make sure that you repair all 5 generators, plus you're helping survivors, plus you're doing all this other kind of stuff without being caught by the killer. So this has probably a little bit more of an in-depth creating of your task, your skill set.
Now I can see how big the map is and that you would get completely lost. This is a huge map.
It's massive.
It is massive. And you can see right there that says that there's an event coming, which was a blizzard. You have to get in and actually get shelter before the blizzard gets there. Wow. The blizzard usually lasts like maybe about a minute or so. But this gives the trader an opportunity to if let's say that you get separated and you go into a separate bunker, and you're not with the whole team, but you and another person get lost and you get into a separate bunker, you don't know if that person's the killer or not.
Now, do the traders know who each other are?
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so they can work together as well.
Yeah, so you can see the little red icon next to this person's name. So that means that shows that you're a trader, and it shows the other trader to you if you're a trader. So they're working together, and they have their own secret radio even too.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you as a survivor or a normal survivor don't get to see that red mark over their head. You just see them as a normal person.
Exactly.
But
it is such a fun game. If if you liked ever playing Among Us, this is a much better game. There's much more to this. It's not free, but it's a better game.
I don't have a PC yet, but this is making me wonder if I need one.
Hey, we could suggest one to you. A Lenovo gaming system is suggested to me by Annabelle, and it's a great system. And I think that will work very well for you.
I will definitely pick you up on those stats.
Yep. So thank you, Annabelle. So what else are you going to be doing? So now you told the audience that you're going to be doing this whole new Switch thing. You're going to be having. I'm excited about this.
Live on Twitch.
Tell us a little bit more.
Live on Twitch every Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be at twitch.tv/Annabelle_Chimpton, which you can see down there. I'm just going to be live. I'm going to be playing a new horror game every week. And I'm going to try and keep it fresh. So I'm going to do my best to not play games that you've already seen info about. Look out for penguins and all that snow. That's right.
So I think that this is like the start of a new thing. We're expanding out.
This is a brand new thing. Excited. We're gonna be live on Twitch. We're gonna get some live gameplay that you guys can interact with and watch us play.
Yay! I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
And then we'll bring the highlights to here on the Friday night show. So if you don't want to spend your time watching me kill people in video games, you can just tune in on Friday for the 5-minute update.
Who wouldn't want to see that? Who wouldn't want to see that? I think it would be really good.
It's my favorite part of the week. So.
Yep, it is. Anytime that you could get up and game is my favorite part of the week. What are you saying? You all know me. I have a routine every day before I start work. Working from home, I play at least an hour of Dead by Daylight in the morning.
You got to start practicing Project Winter then.
Yeah, I have to start doing that when I get my when I upgrade everything. But anyway, I just wanted to let's talk about some news that's happening right now. Some very interesting news. I don't know if you all know about it, but our friends, the Ghost Hunters, actually did an investigation. And would you believe it? Their investigation was at Joe Exotics. Yes.
What?
Yes. So apparently, Joe Exotic Ghost Adventures did a whole thing on the Tiger King, and that Joe Exotic's haunting is there, and that it is haunted by this guy that I have not seen Tiger King, and you all know that I have not watched it. I refuse to watch it. But apparently there was somebody that passed away there, a guy by the last name Maldonado. Are you aware of this person? They believe that his ghost haunts the place. Now he hasn't left. So this story just gets even more crazier.
And when is this going to be aired? Because I'm definitely watching this.
It actually aired. So I'm going to see if I can find something. But let me just give you a little
background.
It already aired. You're behind on Ghost Adventure, so you really need to be on this. But it was a 2-hour special that happened. 2 hours. And we see our beloved Boo crew, Zach Baggins, Jay Wassley, Billy Tully, and they all go, and Aaron Godwin, and they go and they set up shop at the Greater Wynwood Animal Park in Oklahoma. And in this show, there are exclusive interviews with Jeff and Lauren Lowe, who purchased the property Exotic in 2016. So they had heard rumors because apparently during this particular show, they had made some comments about the fact that this place was haunted. Are you all aware of that? Do you remember that conversation?
I don't remember that, but it doesn't shock me in the least. By the way, I just did a Google search for Ghost Adventures, and the first result was Ghost Adventures Joe Exotic.
It says there's everything from allegations of murder and the possibility of the spirit of Travis Maldonado at this, who accidentally killed himself with a firearm at the place. Are you all aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to mention all the mistreated Animals.
How the mistreated animals. So that energy is like intense there. It's heightened. So it doesn't surprise me that it would possibly be haunted. But let me just show like a little bit of the trailer that they put out. That Zach actually did a quite little interview for the show. Let me see if I can find it.
Just when you thought Tiger King was in the rearview mirror.
It is never going to go away. It's never going to go away. Okay, let's watch this.
One of us. He's crazy. He's a bug in a rug, but he was a good guy. He still communicates with us some way or another.
You two were fans of the doc?
Yeah, I mean, look, that doc just hit everybody by like shock and surprise. I remember watching it and I was like, man, I wonder if something on those grounds is affecting these people. So fast forward a little bit and I saw an article. You know how Jeff Lowe had to turn over the zoo to Carol Baskin?
Right.
And I saw that this article stated something like, well, I'm happy to give this zoo to her and all the ghosts that go along with it. And I was like, wait a minute. Did he mean literally ghosts? And I made a few phone calls and he started telling me the hauntings associated with the zoo. That's a whole other chapter that nobody ever knew about. There are a lot of things that were happening on those grounds and with Travis Maldonado.
And from the moment the crew arrived on site, Travis seemed to make his presence known.
I didn't know what that was. After I brought you out, I was going back here to grab my mask. And I swear to God, it sounded like a guy spoke like a foot away from my ear.
That don't surprise me, man. Spirits and ghosts and everything out here.
Did you have any expectations going into this, knowing the backstory?
They didn't have time in that series to even go into paranormal stuff because I've heard people say, well, how could it be haunted? How could it not? I was a little skeptical at first, but there's no doubt in my mind that place is haunted.
Jeff and Lauren Lowe started saying that Travis's spirit went on and would knock on their windows like he would do when he was alive and mess with their lighting.
And it just happened 2 nights ago. You just come up here and he'll go.
2 nights ago?
Yeah, and we have security lights, motion lights. Motion lights will come on, but there'd be nobody here.
Just Travis screwing around with us. Come on, Travis.
Once we got there and we started really hearing about the level of experiences and hauntings that everybody was having, it got real serious really quick.
And the investigators left us with this tease about what they found in Joe Exotic's old house on the grounds.
And when we went inside Joe Exotic's house, we documented an experience that literally is probably on the top 3 paranormal experiences in terms of evidence that we have ever collected.
Wow, that's amazing. I am totally watching that. I can't believe I missed that. It was, first of all, it's not shocking at all that is a haunted location.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Some of those people were the ones that were on the documentary. And, they have no reason to lie or there's no like financial benefit to their, telling that this place is haunted.
Well, I mean, maybe there is, right?
How?
To keep the media spotlight on them and make this like money from exposure, right? I don't know. It's
maybe
there, but I don't know. The whole Joe Exotic and the Wynnewood Park thing is something that's always been very dear to my heart because that is, I'm from Oklahoma and that is an area that I have driven past many times. And I own 4 of Joe Exotic shirts after talking to Jeff and Lauren on Facebook. So that might be a story for another time.
You can't leave us with a teaser like that.
Okay. They were purchased before Tiger King. The November before Tiger King, because I followed the zoo, because I've actually done one of their touring expeditions where I played with a baby bear at the time they were parked in a parking lot. And I followed the zoo on Facebook. So I saw they were selling Joe's stuff. And looking back in retrospect, after having learned so much more about it, I wouldn't have done this, but I bought a couple of his glitter shirts for myself. And
I
at this
might
point,
have been tempted to buy a glitter shirt myself.
I'm not gonna sell them on eBay. I'm saving them for Joe Exotic when he gets out of prison. I'm gonna mail them back.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm 100% serious. Yeah, I talked. It was like the November before, so 2019. I purchased some shirts from them, and they sent me 4 glitter shirts that were Joe's. They smell like him. Yep. That smell never came out, and I'm saving them at this point.
So these are like shirts that he wore.
Yeah. They were wardrobe that he left behind when they kicked him out.
Wow, that's kind of creepy.
And I can't believe that,
Did they still smell like him after all these years? Do you have them in a Ziploc bag or something?
Well, yeah, because the scent will eventually fall off of them. So I'm.
I'm not.
What does Joe Exotic smell like?
It's not.
I'm just curious.
It's not great, everyone has a BO, right?
He was working hard. He was working the crowd. You sweat when these things happen.
Yo, this is the craziest. Annabelle, you my girl, but I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know what to say. I really don't.
Shout out to Jeff Cosell, who I used to work with, who is on Netflix right now doing a paranormal adventures review of all their shows. I'm gonna have to.
Wow!
I'm gonna have to do that. I've seen so many, but I haven't looked at it on Netflix, because on Netflix it would be so much better because you go to one right after the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
What is you talking paranormal? Just paranormal the show? Or...
Yes.
Oh wow!
He just said paranormal, so I don't know if it's paranormal or Ghost Adventures or paranormal. Did the show paranormal? Not sure.
There's a show called Paranormal. Yes. So we're at 9:08, and I think we can go like a couple of more minutes to get to end at 9:15. I do have one more quick story that I have to tell you all, because this has to be said. And I did say that I promised you some more information about our dear departed. And I'm not talking about being dead, but our departed president recently. So I don't know if you all know about this, but there was a former Israeli security chief that just recently retired, and he wrote a book. And in this book, he said that we actually, us as Earth, are part of an alien federation.
I love this story.
Yes, we're part of an alien federation that these aliens have been here for a very long time. So now all UFOologists have been basically everything that they have said with these underground facilities, these Area 51s, these things have actually been here for a very long time. And we've been in alliance with them for years, for centuries. So he did say that recently, I don't know if you all recall that President Trump said that he wanted to set aside some money, some defense money for, I had to get the cheesiest picture I could find on this. He set aside some defense money to actually assist in this. And then the aliens reached out to Trump and said, listen, we didn't want you to let anybody know of that we were here. We did not want to bring fear to the population, to let people know that, there's actually aliens here. So recently, just a couple of days ago, there was a UFO sighting in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So now we have this Earth Federation. They said basically that they have been given allowance to do experiments here on this Earth and to do things like, and all I think of when they said that they've been allowed and given free reign to do experiments, cattle mutilation, black-eyed kids, wraiths, Bigfoots, all of these things, like these things have been up there. These are all things that have had some kind of a UFO component to it that we now call cryptids.
The only thing I'm thinking this whole time is like, I didn't consent to this. I don't know if I want to be in that federation.
I didn't consent to it either.
I just want a free T-shirt. I have a low bar. Do they look like that? Is this what they look like? Is this what?
No,
is this a picture out of the Israeli?
No, this is not out of the guy's book. But I'm just saying. Yo.
Oh my God. There's an understanding that Trump actually knows about this, and then wanted to say something about it, and then the aliens told Trump, "We don't want you to say anything. We don't want to scare you."
That's why Twitter banned him today.
Do you think so? Because he was
why
going to give up this information?
That's why Twitter and Facebook decided to ban him today. It wasn't everything else.
So Twitter, Facebook, and Insta are all in on it. Is that? Are they
definitely?
No, they're not. They're not in on it. But the whole fact of the matter is that this guy couldn't hold water if you gave it to him a cup. So this is basically what he was going to tell everybody about it. And the alien stepped in and was like, "Dude, I don't know if they visited him at night, if they came with like their own, they showed up and rolled up in the parking lot in their spaceship. Who knows? But all I know is that he was about to spill the beans and they asked him not to."
Well, he's at Camp David right now. He could be meeting with them right now.
Well,
trying
I don't
to get
know.
his Twitter unbanned.
Whatever the case, now we have justification for all of the strangeness that we all now have attributed to aliens. We all know now that based on this and what does this man have to lose? This man who just wrote this book, the scientist. I
don't know if I trust that guy.
Eshet, his name is the former Israeli space security chief is named Chaim Eshet. I don't know what does he have to gain by telling us this? Nothing.
Media
it's not gonna
Wow,
I don't think it's going to sell his book. I don't think it's going to sell his book. His book is interesting enough, let alone that he's 80 something years old and he was part of, a security team in the United States. So I don't think this is just to sell his book.
You're right. This is covered by NBC News.
Yes.
This is like mainstream news organizations are covering this.
Yes, they are covering this. And the Donald was about to tell everybody that the aliens are here and go put all of his followers in a panic. You think they're bad now? Wait till they find out there's aliens. So
that never stopped him before from not saying anything.
That's true.
Exactly. But anyway, so we definitely need to wrap up. But before we do, we always want to highlight someone who is missing. Tonight, we wanted to highlight, not this one. Sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
This dude shows up everywhere.
That was hilarious.
So, no, on a serious note, though, we do want to highlight somebody. Tonight, we wanted to highlight Keely Merritt. Keely just recently disappeared. The date is she disappeared on December the 20th, 2020, in Dunn, North Carolina. Her birthday is April 7, 2006. She has brown eyes. She's 115 pounds. She's got brown hair. She's 5'4" at the time of the disappearance. And the FBI's Charlotte Field office is assisting the Harnett County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina with the search for Keely Merritt. Merritt, who was 14 years old at the time of her disappearance, left her home on Amos Road in Dunn, North Carolina on December 20th, wearing a gray puffy winter coat and black beanie-style hat. She rode off on a black mountain bike with pink forks. The bike was found on December 24, 2020, abandoned along I-95, south of exit 70. Merritt takes medication and does not have it with her. So if she is found, if you do know anything, if you've heard anything about her, if you've seen her, please contact the FBI Charlotte Field office at 704-672-6100. That's 704-672-6100. I am quite sure that her family is just devastated, that she's missing around the holidays. They also said that you can call the Harnett County Sheriff's Office at 910-893-9111. That's 910-893-9111. And you can call any local FBI office. You don't have to, call either one of those that are within her county. You can call any FBI office because this is a nationwide and worldwide search for her. If she is out of the country, please go to your nearest American embassy or consulate. Our heart goes out to Keely and her family. Especially this time of the year, there's a terrible, terrible situation, and we just pray for her and for anybody else out there that is missing a loved one. We will see you next week right here on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. All three of us want to wish you a really wonderful weekend, and we can't wait to come back next week. Thank you for joining us tonight.